Hello from Birmingham New Street. Today I'm travelling up to Inverness with Avanti West Coast, Transpennine Express and finally Scotrail. As we go, I'm going to explain how I buy my train tickets and why. So it's not really an in-depth look at the trains themselves, but just about how I get from A to B. So when you come along for the journey, and of course we've got Mrs. Tim's Travels here as well. She's quite insistent that she wants to let us know how the seats are doing, so we're going to do that as well. Anyway, we're going to get our first train, 12:07 from Birmingham up to Preston. And whilst we clamber on board our service, this is as good a time as any to say why not consider hitting that subscribe button. Thank you for everyone who already has and is a returning viewer. And if you haven't yet, well, there's worse things to do in the world than watch some of my videos. It's a busy service, but we soon find our seats, which mercifully are unoccupied, and we're soon underway. Let's talk ticketing. I am a cheapskate, and often the cheapest tickets can be found by using split ticketing, and that's what we're doing today. So we're on our first service from Birmingham to Oxenholme with a change at Preston. Then from Oxenholme we're taking a train up to Haymarket, and then from Haymarket up to Inverness. Now, how much did all of this cost? Well, a single for the two of us with a two together rail card came in at £108.20. Now at Wolverhampton, it's time to get a seat update. How was the seat?
There's no heating in it, so...
Comfy?
No.
Okay. Thanks for that.
No, I don't think so.
The Mrs. Tim's Travels verdict on the Pendolino seat in standard is that it is firm. Still, we've left the cities behind and we've got green fields and blue sky. What could possibly go wrong today? Feeling the heat? We're soon rolling into Crewe, where there's always some interesting stuff to see, and today is no exception. Although on our side of the train we're treated to this stunning brick wall.
British Transport Police on 61016. We'll sort it. See it, say it, sorted.
The next question is, what is split ticketing? Well, according to the National Rail website, it's when you buy more than one ticket to make a journey. The journey is broken into sections with a separate ticket for each part. So, for instance, say a train travels from station A to station B to station C, and you want to travel from station A to station C. Well, you could buy a ticket for that, or you could buy a split ticket, a ticket that takes you from station A to station B and station B to station C. Potentially, you could do this on the same train. You may have to change seats, but it's a way of potentially getting cheaper train tickets. The start and end points are the same, but you might get a cheaper fare. So there are some rules and regulations with split ticketing. I will put a link in the description to the National Rail website because it will explain it far better than I will. Needless to say, it doesn't always go to plan, as you will see in this video, but we're just rolling into Preston, so let's get an update. Okay, so that is leg one complete from Birmingham New Street to Preston. We've got a few minutes to wait here for our next service with Transpennine Express to Oxenholme. Mrs. Tim's Travels, how's it going?
It's going alright so far.
Would you prefer just to be on one train all the way through?
Yes, but at the expense it was. No, I'd rather do it this way.
It's all about the money.
Pennies.
It's all about the pennies, yeah?
Yep.
Super. Right, so hopefully our Transpennine Express train will be along shortly. And as the Avanti West Coast service makes its merry way northwards, it's not too long before the 1405 Preston to Oxenholme service with Transpennine Express is rolling in to the station. So as I've explained, I'll tend to use split ticketing if I can. If it's the cheapest option, that's what I'm going to do. So how do I go about buying my train tickets? Well, firstly, I'll get an idea of the prices for the service that I'm wanting to use through the train operating company's app or website. In fact, I've noticed the ScotRail app is offering split ticket prices on their app now. That's a new thing. They weren't doing that before, but they are now. So once I've got an idea of the price, I will open my Virgin Red app, and from there go into the Virgin Rail app, which is linked to my Virgin Red account, and I'll buy my tickets. Why? Because I get Virgin points back, and I can put that towards a big trip with Virgin Atlantic. I can use it with their codeshare partners, KLM for instance, who fly from Inverness, so that's really handy. Now you might be screaming at me right now saying, you idiot, that's a terrible way to buy your train tickets. You should do it this way. So please let me know in the comments, how do you go about buying your train tickets? Are you an in the station person? Are you an online person? Let me know what you do. This is what I do because it works for me, and I like to feel that I'm getting something back that I can put towards, as I say, maybe a big trip in the future. Anyway, we're approaching Oxenholme, and there are a few folk diving off our train onto the waiting northern service on the Windermere branch, but we're going to spend a little bit of time here. Do you know what? I think Oxenholme is a great way station. Just love it. Anyway, that is leg 2 complete. Next is Transpennine Express again, up to Haymarket. And this is the one I'm most worried about because we've got a pretty tight connection at Haymarket to get our onward train up to Inverness. But so far it's all gone very, very well, and hopefully it will continue that way. And of course the other great thing about Oxenholme station is that just outside is a farm shop which sells delightful things. So we're going to have a wee look at that before the next train. I wasn't lying. So, what is the only problem with going to a farm shop?
It spends all your money.
Yeah, I think all the money that we've spent, that we've saved doing split ticketing, we've just spent in the farm shop. But I think it's worth it.
Oh, it was, definitely.
Yeah. So, bit of a tip there. Don't go to farm shops if you want to save money. It's Transpennine Express once again, this time the 1533 service, which will take us up to Haymarket, in theory. This is where it all goes wrong. That being said, this is my favourite part of the West Coast main line, so let's just enjoy that in beautiful ignorance of what lies in store. Hello, Carlisle. So there is a fault with this train, so we all have to get off at Carlisle and catch a later service, which mucks things up tremendously. So that's the joys, isn't it? So we'll see what we can do on our onward voyage trek north to Inverness.
We're now arriving at Carlisle. All passengers need to leave the train here. Passengers unlocked in Haymarket, Edinburgh, Waverley. Please be careful when on Senate service.
Love getting split.
You've not got any in your first station?
So the situation is the northbound train from Manchester Airport to Edinburgh terminated at Carlisle because there was a fault with the train and everyone had to get off. The southbound train from Glasgow to Manchester Airport terminated at Carlisle as well and formed the return journey to Edinburgh. But the train that was cancelled, the northbound train, is returning to Manchester Airport, so everyone had to get off the train we're on now and go over to platform 1. If the train's got faults, how come it's got this far? And how is it able to go back south? Oh, I don't know, it makes no sense. Anyway, the long and short of it is we're going to miss our train at Haymarket. So, what can you say about that? At least we're on the move again. Just to recap, because I'm not sure if I explained that very well in the heat of the moment, the northbound service that we were on, the train developed a fault and terminated at Carlisle. The southbound service also terminated at Carlisle. So everyone on the northbound service got off the train, everyone on the southbound service got off their train, and all the passengers switched trains. So our service returned north to Edinburgh and the southbound train went back to Manchester. If it's got a fault, surely it's easy. Oh, I don't know. If it's got a fault, why does it come back to Manchester with everybody on it that was on it makes no sense. Please, someone make it make sense. And as you can see, even not in the heat of the moment, I still can't explain it. So this is an example of the perils of split ticketing. Because we're on an advanced service with a specific train with Scotrail, because this Transpennine Express train is running late, we are either totally snookered, we can try and presume on the kindness of the conductor on the later running train, see if we're allowed on, or we bite the bullet and buy another ticket, or we stay in Edinburgh for the night. So those are our options. We'll see how we get on. As we leave Lockerbie, let's check in on Mrs. Tim's travels. I think it's safe to say she's not best pleased. So I think we should go to Mrs. Tim's travels to get her thoughts on matters.
I wouldn't. I'm not happy at all. All 2 weeks holidays have been ruined by tonight.
2 weeks of holidays ruined.
Yes, I'm now stressed. I was all chilled and relaxed. I'm trying to get home.
How is the seat?
I haven't even thought about it because I'm now trying to find out if we can get a lift home. Do I need to get accommodation? I'm just too stressed to even think about seats.
Some lovely trees. At Haymarket we got off the train and then decided to get back on because we thought we might have more options at Waverley. Right, we're now at Edinburgh Waverley and we've managed to sort something out, so we're going to be on the later service, the 18:45 service up to Inverness. So split ticketing, pros and cons, we've seen both sides of it today, but we're going to get home and yeah, there's not much more to be said than that. Kind of a bit frustrating, the old railways sometimes, aren't they? But there we go. So we've purchased tickets for a later service to Perth and then Perth to Inverness. So we roll steadily homewards. We're going to get in at about 11:15 tonight rather than about 9:30, but we are getting there.
Newcastle, Durham, Darlington, York, Doncaster, Newton, Glasgow, Peterborough, Stevenage and London Kingston. This train is formed of 9 coaches. Platform 6 for the 18.
We ended up on the 18:41 service from Edinburgh Waverley to Perth, due to get in at 20:10, and although it wasn't exactly what we had planned, it did mean we got to enjoy this view which never gets dull. So it is time for another seat review. How is the Class 158 seat?
The best today.
Really?
Yeah,
The 158 as the... Why?
because the others were like ironing boards. They were so firm, so hard, and this is actually alright. Very comfy. For me.
Good. Well, we've got a little Class 170 TURBOSTAR takes up to Inverness from Perth, so we'll see how that compares, but so far it's the 158. And how are you doing?
I am shattered. It is now 8 o'clock at night.
It is?
And we've been up since 4 o'clock this morning.
But you're
Nearly there. We are on the home stretch.
We're nearly there. We've got another 3 hours to go. Well
We're
done.
nearly there, nearer than what we were at 4 o'clock this morning.
That is true. That is true. I didn't see the 158 winning the seat contest, but maybe the TURBOSTAR will pull it out the bag. And at 8:10, we arrive at Perth. Hello Perth, a station that I always feel could do with a little bit of love. in Inverness. The best of times, and it was the worst of times. Mrs. Tim's Travels, what have you learned about this journey?
Fly into Inverness Airport, forget the train.